Listen to the sound of freedom. Produced by a unique bell cast from the shackles and chains once used to restrain people with a mental, emotional, or behavioral problem. It rings forth a clarion call for a new and better understanding of mental illnesses and a renewed community commitment to mental health.
This is very much a case where it's not us and them. All of us are on a continuum of mental health that goes from full mental health, where you lead a joyous, fulfilling life, able to cope with the stresses that inevitably come your way, all the way to severe and persistent mental illness. That's a continuum. We're all on it. Any one of us can have an emotional illness. Any one of us will need help.
Take a breath in.
If you have a broken bone or your parent suffers from heart disease, you know where to go to get help. That help is covered by your insurance. And most of all, you don't find it embarrassing to go out and seek that help. But it's different if you have a mental or an emotional problem. You often don't know where to turn for help. Here at the Mental Health Association, we've been working for over 50 years with people from all different parts of the community, professionals, consumers, business people, trying to change that.
The mission of the Mental Health Association of Greater Dallas is awareness, promoting mental health, and advocacy for adults and children with mental illnesses. Opening the door to fair treatment without shame, stigma, or fear means changing how people think about mental health and mental illnesses. Blaming a character flaw or a personal weakness is a myth.
This is an illness that has something to do with how our brains function. It's not just a mind phenomenon.
Most people who I know who are mentally ill, if they could just snap out of it, they would. It just is not that easy.
They're real illnesses, many believe to result from chemical imbalances in the brain, causing mild to severe disturbances. The major categories include anxiety disorders, depression and bipolar disorders, schizophrenia, dementias, eating disorders, and substance abuse.
We need to continue to see them as a collective group of illnesses that need to be funded and treated just like we'd treat pneumonia.
People don't know that treatment works.
It has for Willie Faye Taylor's depression, but first she had to realize what was happening to her.
I was just sad. You're just sad all the time. You know, you have no hope, and you have to have help. You know, you got to understand that it is something medical.
First blue, then I found I couldn't sleep, then I found I couldn't eat. I was lower than a snake's belly by very shortly thereafter. It was an experience that I had never imagined would happen to me.
But it did happen to Mike Wallace of 60 Minutes. At this Mental Health Association Prism Awards luncheon, he told the community that with proper care and treatment, many people can triumph over mental illness.
Look, I was there. I know it was monstrous. Look at me now. We want to say, but there's not a darn thing in the world to be ashamed of. This kind of talk, little by little by little, the message gets through.
If you can get somebody the right medication, the right therapy, big changes can happen. Big changes.
They can start when patients, families, and the community get involved in the Mental Health Association's programs and services. Here's a sample.
Friendship is the goal of the Compeer program. In fact, the word Compeer means equal, companion, peer, friend. Friendship is therapeutic. Friendship is powerful medicine.
When Compeer volunteers are matched as friends with adults with chronic mental illness, rehospitalization rates can be reduced. Compeer also helps replace isolation with socialization.
John Steinbeck once wrote, "There are people who live in rooms that others cannot enter." And the Compeer program has helped me open a door so I can leave that room and get out and experience things and have someone call and say, "Are you okay? Let's go do this. Let's go get a cup of coffee."
I think if the community could reach out and get to know people with mental illnesses, I think we would all be a lot better off.
Having one friend can make a difference. It can change lives.
It's not all about what medicine are you taking or what doctor are you seeing or have you taken your meds today. It's having fun. I'm having a life now that I only dreamed about.
I think I'd probably be lost without the support of MHA. They've been a great deal of help to me.
Number one, we're going to learn to say no to somebody who's bothering us. Can we all say no out loud?
No! The We Help Ourselves, or WHO program, teaches problem solving and communication skills to help children and adolescents avoid falling victim to emotional, physical, or sexual abuse. The age-appropriate programs range from preschool to college.
You're kidding. I can't believe that. If a guy I was dating ever hit me, I would never go out with him again.
Yeah, but I don't want to lose him.
Boys and girls, this brings us to the end of the Who Knows game for today. On behalf of Miss Kitty,
know the rules,
Kimberly Koala,
know what to do in a scary, hurting, or uncomfortable situation,
Larry Lyon,
know who to tell,
and Billy Brown Bear.
Remember, we help ourselves.
This is Heidi Owl saying, who knows? We do. We help ourselves.
I can give you that information also.
Every Thursday afternoon, the Mental Health Association's Depressive Support Group meets to help people coping with the most commonly diagnosed emotional problem. Medication, therapy, and peer support offer hope.
Depression is being accepted more. And so I think as the other major mental illnesses become more manageable, like depression has become manageable, that it will make a difference.
Meet some of the Cracked Egg Players, a performance group composed of mental health consumers and other interested people who write, produce, and perform their works. Group founder Terry Lee Brill says audiences get entertained and educated.
It helps them understand that we are capable, we are creative, we are talented, and we have an ability to get out there and share with everyone else.
Mental Health Association, this is Alyssa. How may I help you?
The nice thing about the Mental Health Association is that they provide so many resources and a networking way to get each of us in touch with information that all of us need, whether it's a patient, a family, or providers.
I do have a couple of counseling centers in your area that do use a sliding scale.
All of us need more information and more understanding of what mental illness truly is and what it isn't, that it's not mental retardation, that it's not necessarily chronic. If people want to learn more, we are a source of that information.
And a source of advocacy.
We're making headway. Things are changing.
The Consumer Council for Mental Health Advocacy grew out of a need for consumers to be heard and respected.
One of our initial goals with the Consumer Council was to educate the community about mental illness and to educate our legislators about mental illness so we could affect some change.
I think the Mental Health Association has been one of those places that activates that sort of dialogue and helps us even politically to help us, what do we need to provide care and be an advocate on a political level.
You'd be amazed at what giving someone a voice will do. Many of these folks have felt silenced by society. The idea of empowerment is, it does a lot of good. It's a very powerful process. In relation to the general public, what we have to offer is people who suffer from major mental illnesses who are living life as anybody would live life.
The Mental Health Association supports a criminal justice initiative for improved mental health services in the jail. Advocacy activities take the Mental Health Association to hearings before the Dallas County Juvenile Board and to testify at sessions of the Dallas County Commissioner's Court. The Mental Health Association also works to establish insurance coverage equality between mental and physical illnesses in an era of managed care.
The biggest barrier that I have to fight on a daily basis, minute by minute, is ignorance.
As a Mental Health Association parent advocate, Susan Rogers assists families with children and adolescents with or at risk for emotional and behavioral problems. Susan sees pockets of progress, but adds, fear and misunderstanding about brain illnesses remain.
This child has a mental health issue. They're not getting up in the morning and deciding, how can I irritate the principal today? Or how can I tick off my teacher, and get her to stand on the desk and scream, These are things that are beyond their control. So as an advocate, I'm out there not only helping to find services and help the family move in a positive direction, but it's constantly teaching and reteaching the community the issues that are involved with a family who has a mental health issue.
Speaking in front of a big audience. I like doing that.
Susan's son, Kenny, who has autism, panic disorder, and attention deficit disorder, is not afraid to share to help improve community awareness. His therapy helps a lot, and so do his friends.
They treat me pretty nicely. They understand. They're not autistic, but they love to be friends with me.
Do they make you feel comfortable?
Very much.
To help the community feel more comfortable with mental health and mental illness issues is the goal of Vision 2001, a new era of understanding, new treatment, and new hope. The Mental Health Association's communications campaign is proactive, direct to the community, and represents a working relationship with the media.
If you think you might be depressed and nothing you do seems to change the way you feel, make an appointment with your primary care physician and take the first step toward living and feeling better. For the Mental Health Association of Dallas, I'm Dr. Joni Johnston.
She doesn't want to go out anymore and she's gotten so cranky.
She can't seem to concentrate.
The campaign on clinical depression is another vital piece to the community awareness puzzle, as is the Mental Health Association's presence at health fairs.
Let me give you some information on stress management. Here's 18 ways to deal with stress.
Okay.
What you still don't know about stress.
All right.
And some little stress busters from the Mental Health Association.
Friendship. It's something all these people share. It's because they've had the caring concern of a volunteer from the Mental Health Association. Find out how good it feels to volunteer. Call today.
You can be a friend.
Connie Villalobos knows that feeling. A Mental Health Association volunteer since 1990, she's been part of numerous programs, including the Speakers Bureau.
Being able to help one person in their life, it makes it all worthwhile.
In this presentation to parents at Promise House in Dallas, Connie teaches them why mental health requires balance.
And this includes, personal life, parenting life, taking care of ourselves, taking care of our children, and our business.
A golden anniversary is reason to celebrate and get excited about the power of people.
It's an age of hope, it's an age of accomplishment, and it's an age of information.
And the Mental Health Association of Greater Dallas sees it as a golden opportunity to continue the community's journey toward a brighter and healthier future.
It's a great support system, and I can see in the next 50 years, wow.
And I think we're just on the edge of being able to see things in fashions that Freud himself would have loved to be here, because it begins to answer some questions that we could never answer.
The more that science has found out about the brain, the more they can create these new medications which can really give people a shot at life. And the only way to get those medications is through research and to treat the brain like it is any other organ. I think there's a lot of hope for the future, but I think that there's also, we need to be wary, especially of the funding issues.
I hope that everybody will see mental health as their business, that everyone will join us in trying to create the ingredients for a truly healthy community.
So for whom does this bell toll? It tolls for everyone, because mental health matters.